Hi, I'm Danny Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I'm joined by two great ladies today. Sema Tosun, who is the founding executive director of Fund a Need, and then also by Suyin Nichols, who is their seniors activities coordinator for HIP Housing. So before we jump into the partnership between Fund a Need and HIP Housing, I want to tell the audience a little bit about Fund a Need and HIP Housing. So Sema, by day, you have a full-time job and are in the mortgage lending business and run a restaurant, own a restaurant. But you founded Fund a Need because you felt there was this gap. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, about 4 years ago, I started Fund a Need. It's a nonprofit that helps struggling low-income seniors. We provide services, goods, educational, fun little programs that they can enjoy, and we just try to reach out to the seniors in need in our community. So.
And you've been at this for, like you said, 4 years now, and there's a long list of programs and things that you've done. We'll get into that by way of talking about HIP Housing, because you do a great amount of work with HIP Housing. So, so you can tell us a little bit about HIP Housing.
So HIP Housing is a organization that provides affordable housing solutions for San Mateo County. So they do that through a home sharing program, a self-sufficiency program, and a property management program. So I work under the property management program as the activities coordinator for the seniors.
And so how did the two of you find each other, and what have you been doing?
Well, I think that you connected with Judy Fong, who is our outreach specialist, and she does all the big events. So through Judy, I got connected with Sema.
Right. When I first started Fund a Need, I've done a lot of volunteer work for HIP Housing. Let's just kind of go from there. They're an amazing organization. I can even say that they were kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to start a nonprofit, because I was just inspired by what they do. And Kate and Judy are amazing. They actually helped me to start the nonprofit. And the first thing I did was, let's partner together, and I can help the seniors within the HIP Housing to build this collaboration that's been going on for 4 years.
So give us an example of some of the events that you've done together.
Did you want to touch on?
Yeah, so we have, there's so many. I was making a list. Sema arranged through Fund a Need to have a in-home safety presentation where she had a speaker come and talk about in-home safety, like, you know, having non-slip rugs and other things to help seniors, you know, keep them from falling and having accidents in their home. And she's so generous because for every participant, she gave them a full-sized first aid kit. And I know that the seniors are still using it, because we had a senior who had a little scratch on her arm, and she went into her kit and got her Neosporin and her Band-Aids, and she was so glad to have them. So that's just one. And then also Thanksgiving, there's a lot of seniors who don't have family, don't have family close by, or you know, their friends who live in the senior apartments, they all go off with their families, so they're alone. So Sema creates a Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day and at Trapeze Restaurant, and so these seniors who are alone have a chance to have community and a beautiful dinner, and
that's super fun.
Yeah, she's super generous.
And I think we've talked about that, the Thanksgiving dinner, in the past, and so it's great to know that it is the seniors that are involved in HIP Housing programs are there. It's a great collaboration. Now, Sema, I know that you do all sorts of events to raise money so that it would help fund a Need, so that if you did have to purchase items or provide experiences or provide speakers or services, you have the ability to do it. So name a couple of the ways in which you raise money in order to do some of these programs and services.
Well, social media is huge. I think I've been able to reach a lot of people through social media, which has been, again, a huge advantage. And having the platform in my jobs, through Trapeze, you know, the restaurant, and also with my new job now with home services lending, I'm always around people, talking to people and agents, and just trying to give them a really raw local nonprofit that they can feel like they've contributed to. I have no overhead. I don't have any employees. It's just all volunteer based. Right. So any money that I do get that's donated goes 100% to the seniors. It could be a need for their room, for blankets, we've done a lot of that, for kitchenware.
Right.
Even paying somebody's hotel dues for a few days until they find some type of affordable housing. So, I mean, the list goes on, and it's just a lot of, reaching out to a lot of our government officials as well. They've been very supportive, and
how do other senior service organizations or seniors find you to either partner or to even look for some resources?
I think word of mouth. Word of mouth, again, I would go online and look at some of the local senior centers, affordable housing centers. And we also touch like low income to poor and even some homeless seniors as well. So I like to do it within the community, within like Palo Alto up to even South San Francisco, and having everybody involved, and the volunteers. And at the events, what we do is we actually also have families and kids maybe volunteer their time to bake cookies and cupcakes. So we, it is for seniors, but I like to see it as a very global, interactive charity that just does good things and has fun while doing it too.
And HIP Housing really has the same sort of model in the sense that you are a nonprofit and you receive some government grants, some grants from foundations, a lot of donations from private donors, but do a lot of your work through partnership, collaboration, and volunteers. Tell us a little bit about your structure with HIP Housing and how you do the things that you do.
Well, I actually, besides the building where my office is, I also have 2 satellite buildings that I do activities for. So I am able to, every month we have a lot of the same activities that the seniors, they like predictability. So we have a monthly dinner through Samaritan House. And then we have a pet therapy dog that comes in. That was through the SPCA.
Right.
And
all great collaborations to deliver all of this service.
Yes, it's great. And one of the events that Sema did for us last year was to celebrate Mother and Father's Day. She had a salon event where the seniors got to go to the salons and get their hair done, manicure, yes, and little arm massage. And that was one of my most favorite events because I was at my office when the seniors were coming back to the residence. And they wanted to come through the clubhouse and model their new hair. And they were saying things like, I feel like a movie star. I feel like $1 million bucks. That was such a great event. And again, it was at a salon. So this year, Sema and I are working together to do a salon event, but in the clubhouse. So those who can't drive, those who have some mobility issues, they're able to also get that same feeling, and Sema's bringing that to us.
So I know it's something that you want to do on an annual basis, but so do you reach out to your beauty community and say, would you be willing to volunteer to do this day so that obviously it's free of charge to all of the participants?
Aside from the local salons, which I go to, we pass out flyers, again, using social media. I also reached out to CSM's cosmetology department, and they were super supportive. So some of the stylists from there came, and specialists. And so it's all local businesses that are involved, so it's supporting each other.
Right, and I love all the partnerships that you both are able to provide in collaboration with one another. So, Sema, I want to congratulate you. I've interviewed you now a few times on Penn Voice, and your work is amazing. Thank you for doing what you do as a volunteer and giving back to your community. I know you've impacted many, many, many lives, and you're still at it and still doing it. And to HIP Housing, we can't thank the organization enough for doing what it's doing, especially today, where we all can say that we're in a housing crisis. So thank you for all that you do. And both of you together, I can't imagine it's going to be a powerhouse, if nothing else. So again, thank you both for doing what you do, and we'll see you next time, and love to hear about your last event as well.
Thank you so much.
We'll see all of you next time on Penn Voice.